Why, hello, chat. Hello. Welcome to Salt Stream Tuesdays. Yes, we are doing it on Tuesdays because that's the only time that I can do it. There has been a lot of salt, even just based on the weekend. You can thank the showcases for that. You can thank the Xbox showcase. You can thank the PlayStation State of Play. But we have a lot to cover today. So, with the preamble out of the way, let's get to some salt. Hello, Piplup. Hello. How are we all doing today? How are we all doing? Yes, Harmon is in the video thumbnail. He's been talking shit, so we have to cover him. We have to cover him. So, how are we doing today, chat? Before we start, how are we doing today? Hope that we're doing good. I've been doing fine. Had some problems with my car, but it was an easy fix. So we like that. Alright. Chat, we're going to start today off with Domino's Pizza Face. Because, of course we are. I have 2 videos lined up for him. We have all Xbox games are now $80 in his Nintendo Switch 2 review. And we're going to start with all Xbox games are now $80. Alright, Warlock. His real name is Rejected Nerdling. That will be his real name. Alright. Let's get into it and see what this absolute fucking dumbass has to say about Xbox. Because we all know what this is. We all know why this is here. But let's see what he has to say.
Hey there, gamers. Dreamcast Guy here, and today we're going to talk about how Xbox continues to take L's. I mean, they just finished the Xbox Game Showcase, and I did a video reacting to it because it was actually pretty good. It had a lot of games, a lot of trailers, and yeah, they're coming to PlayStation 5, but you could tell the fact that it was curated. Every trailer, every game, every piece of gameplay was actually exciting. But right after I finished filming that video, a bunch of subscribers have sent me that every future Xbox game is going to cost $80.
This is not true. The only confirmed Xbox game to be $80 right now is Outer Worlds 2. I don't think that any game should be $80 fucking dollars. But that is the only one at the moment that is $80. We don't know if, let's say, it's going to be flat across the board, every game is going to be $80. Because right now, Jesus Christ. But we know this. We know that Outer Worlds 2 is going to be $80. But we also know that Ninja Gaiden 4 is only $70. So you have to ask what games are going to be $80, what games are going to be $70. And I think, yes, Xbox does like to do the Sideshow Bob and start stepping on rakes continuously because they are run by idiots. But let's see where this is going. We know that this is about the Outer Worlds 2 being $80. What is your take, Dreamcast? It's most likely going to be shit because all your takes are shit.
And it starts with the Outer Worlds 2. Now, I'm going to explain to you why that's stupid. I want to take a look at some reactions, but let's just start with the fact that the Outer Worlds 1 is a masterpiece. This is created by the people that originally made Fallout, and they did Fallout New Vegas, and they've done a bunch of games.
It's $40? Oh, that's actually a really good price for Space Marine 1 remastered. That's actually a really good price. Crap, he showed the game, but he didn't show A fucking controller. Where is the controller, Dreamcast? I want to see the controller. But I have not played Outer Worlds 2. It has been on my need to plays. But because I have so many fucking games to play, it's just went in the back burner. Especially with what's coming out tomorrow. Holy shit, I'm gonna struggle to go to class and have it go to fucking work. Because all I'm gonna want to do is play Stellar Blade tomorrow. But I cannot say anything. I know Dez really, really likes the Outer Worlds. So, Obsidian has done great stuff in the past. They've done great stuff recently, so I hope that the Outer Worlds 2 is good, but I don't think that it's going to be worth $80. And that's a big thing. It's $80. This is Xbox's first title at $80, and it's the Outer Worlds 2. I don't understand why it's $80. But let's continue. It hasn't been that egregious. It hasn't been that egregious as of right now.
I don't have to explain to you why Obsidian kicks all the ass, but the problem is that this game was originally, even by its own marketing, trying to be a budget badass game. It was purposefully cheaper. It was purposefully shorter. It was purposefully a great contained game, starting specifically with Outer Worlds 2 as your first $80 game. This is a monumental mistake, and it just shows the fact that truly Xbox has no idea what they're doing. It is just purely pencil-pushing accountants trying to...
Chat, I actually agree with Dreamcast here. I actually agree with Dreamcast. Because no game should be $80. And especially not the Outer Worlds 2. Payoff, I don't know if we can do that legally, but someone needs to save the teeth. Someone needs to save the teeth because he is ruining them like he did his original ones. He has not learned. Nando, no, we just started stream. You just missed like a minute of the Dreamcast video, but we finally got to the point here. So we have Dreamcast guy here actually doing a decent take where he's like, this is not the game that should be $80. I agree with that, specifically because this looks like it's going to be a lower budget game similar to the Outer Worlds 1. Now, let's see his reasoning as to why it's bad. Because, chat, we may have a decent Dreamcast guy video here. It's insanity, but we may have a decent Dreamcast guy video. Yeah, Warlock, if he loses his teeth again, we will make him go without teeth. We will make him go without teeth, because remember, he crowdfunded his teeth. He crowdfunded it. So we technically own it. But yeah, Warlock, Fallout only did New Vegas. Obsidian only did New Vegas. They were the main devs on KOTOR 2. And they did the Pillars of Eternity games. I agree, Red. $50 is that sweet spot right there where it's not too expensive. That, like, you're pricing everybody out, but it's not too cheap that it looks... that looks cheap. It's a good middle ground. Alright, let's continue the Streamcast video. Let's see if he's actually... God damn it, pay off. God damn it.
To make sure that the games that do look good don't sell. Let's talk. I hope you're having a great day, and if you could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So,
we're not. God fuck! No! No, I see it! I fucking see it! I fucking see it! God fuck! Why the hell are we using ChatGPT? Why? You had a decent video here. You had a decent video, and then it's like, nope, gotta use the PlayStation fanboy. Fucking hell, why are we doing Nib? Why the fuck are we doing Nib? God fucking... Nib's gonna be a talking point later, and I'm gonna get fucking mad at him. Because Nib is being a absolute fucking retard. Rolo, you just missed, Dreamcast actually had a decent point. And now we're here, where he's using fucking Nib. Alright. Let's see what the fuck this is.
a lot of people are trying to blame Nintendo for this. This isn't one of those tweets specifically, but I have seen people sort of discussing the fact that we're in this weird state where I feel like consumers don't understand this new pricing structure where games went from $60 to $70.
Nope. Thank you, Random Boy, for the $1. I don't know why alerts aren't showing up on screen. I actually don't know why. Maybe that will help. Oh, there we go. I fucking fixed it. Random Boy said, God damn it, not Nib, for crying out loud. I agree. You missed that. And then he's now using Nib. No, Random Boy, the problem is that all these companies had this idea that they wanted to do $80 games. And they were just waiting for one company to open Pandora's box so that they weren't the company that everyone got mad at. Nintendo were the ones that opened Pandora's box. You notice that Xbox had all these plans for these higher prices and to raise prices. They already had these plans. It's why when people say, oh, these prices because of tariffs, no, they're not. Tariffs are the excuse so that companies can raise prices. And that's what we're seeing right now, is that companies are seeing this. And Pandora's box is already open. The problem is that the two games that they chose to put at 80, the two games that they chose were the worst two to fucking choose. Because you have The Outer Worlds 2, a low budget game that isn't designed to be $80 fucking dollars. And you have Mario Kart World, which at times looks worse than fucking Mario Kart 8, which was originally a fucking Wii U game. $80. $80 fucking dollars. The thing is that now, as consumers, we have to show companies that we do not want $80 games. Which means that when The Outer Worlds 2 comes out, don't buy it. Do not buy it. If you're going to play the game, play it on Game Pass. Do not buy it. Because if you buy it, you're telling Microsoft $80 is good. $80 is alright. We already screwed that up with the Switch 2 because a bunch of fucking dipshits are like, yeah, I need new console, and why I'm not gonna buy one unless some idiot decides to give me one. Unless some idiot decides to give me one. Or Nintendo walks back all their shit. That's the only way. That's the only way. Alright. So he's had a fine enough thing right now. This is a problem right here. Don't use fucking nib. We're gonna see that later. Why not to use nib?
$60 to $80 in such a short span of time, but now the pricing is still inconsistent. Some people are still releasing $60 games. When it comes to Nintendo, Mario Kart World was $80, and in my opinion, that should have been $40 or $50, whereas Donkey Kong is going to be $70. I mean, this stuff makes no sense, but Xbox has now said everything they're doing, whether it's released on PS5, on PC, or Xbox, it's $80. Just across the board, every game is now $80. Now, obviously, right now, as I record this on June 8th, PlayStation is still releasing $70 games.
PlayStation's next. Possibly, Rolo. The problem is that with the 3DS, that's problem was specifically the price in the launch lineup. That could be fixed. With the Switch 2, Nintendo not only has to drop the price, but they also have to walk back $80 on games. They have to allow game chat to be used on without a subscription. They have to get rid of the game key cards unless it's for a super huge game. I am fine with game key cards being used when it's a game like COD. If it's a game like fucking COD, fine. Fine. I am fine with that. That's already an online game. I already have to be online for that. Nando, the only way that they're gonna drop the price is if people stop buying it over time. Because day 1 purchases, day 2 purchases, that's all going to be high. What really matters is how is it going to perform a week from now, a month from now, 2 months from now. If sales just drop off a fucking cliff, then we'll see a price drop. We'll see a price drop because Nintendo hasn't realized. Yeah. No, Nando, that's the right thing to do. I'm only saying that they would have to do that to get me back, and I think a lot of people back. The problem is that they eroded so much trust in who the fuck just... Payoff, what the fuck?
Hey Dana, check this out.
Howard, what are you doing? Oh my god, it's coming off! It's not! No!
Payoff, what the fuck did you send me? Payoff. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it, alerts aren't working. Alright. Oh wait, they are. They are. Holy crap. Holy crap. Random Boy tipped $1 and said, I may be guilty of paying $70 for standard edition games, but I sure as shit will not make the same decision for $80 games. $70 is already too much, same with $60. The only way $60 to $70 games make sense is for physical copies and if they include manuals. I agree with that. I agree with that. I also agree that, like Rolo said, if you're going to pay $130, if I'm paying that, give me something fucking physical. Like with the Tony with the Pro Skater 3 and 4 remakes, you're getting that's worth fucking money, and that makes sense to give as a big premium edition. Yeah, Rolo, that too. It's like my big problem with the Switch 2, besides everything else, is that the launch lineup isn't really that great, because your big games are a bunch of third-party stuff that I can already play, and you have Mario Kart World. Alright, well, we have gotten off topic with this fucking Dreamcast guy video. But let's see what else he has to say, because it's been fine as of recent. It's been fine. Not great, not terrible. Fine.
Officially confirmed that Ghost of Tsushima is going to be $70. Silent Hill F, Metal Gear Solid, everything currently listed on PlayStation 5 is still just $70. God, I hate the fact that we have to say just $70 when $70 felt too expensive just...
And yet, you fucking paid for the $70 games, and you lapped them up, and you were fine with it. That's the problem, Dreamcast. You fucking allowed this shit to happen. Now, I am guilty as well. I have bought some $70 games. Payoff? What the fuck are you sending me?
I feel like I'm even too close.
What the fuck, Payoff? Is this what Gara has to deal with? Is this the bullshit that Gara has to deal with, Payoff? Oh my god. Alright, let's continue. But yeah. And about the only time that I started paying for $70 games was when the game was really, really fucking good. Because I bought I bought Sparking Zero because that game looked really good. I thought that would be solid. It just didn't have a lot of staying power. And then I got Metaphor. I got Metaphor for 70. Those two games, one of them was a good fighting game. It was a good fighting game, I'd say. And the other is a fucking game of the year. So I'd say for those, it's not as bad. I think that Metaphor should be 60 and Sparking Zero should be 50. But like for those two, the price was sort of kind of justified. But yeah, Dreamcast, if he's not going to do the $80... Let's see what the price is, Nando. It comes out in fucking October. For this article, I already know about this about Marvelous, that they've already said that they are going to continue not having that they're going to continue having full physicals, which is really good because Nintendo screwed over third parties. Because they said that if you really want a full physical, if you want an entire cartridge, you have to do a 64 gig cart. When Nintendo themselves has multiple different SKUs of cartridges and sizes that they can use. Alright, let's continue with this fucking piece of shit right here.
With this is that I feel like it taints the good vibes of the Xbox showcase, because one of the things they said is coming up in Xbox, or to be playing Xbox games on PlayStation. But now I can't help but think, is this really an $80 game? Is this an $80? This is the take I feel like is so perfectly poignant. Not the game to be doing this with. Oh God. So it begins. I feel bad for how this game is going now. We could greenlight more projects. This is my thing, is I have seen some people saying, oh, it's to emphasize even more people buying it on Game Pass. Oh, the game everything. First party coming.
Surprisingly, no. This video is not titled Xbox is Dead. Their games are now $80. Instead, it's huge Xbox L. After he's done with his, Are we having stutters? Are we? Are we having stutters? Because, that may be because of my fucking internet. That may be because of that. Goddamn payoff. That really should be his name, Nando. That really should, because of how much that he fucking talks about PlayStation. Actually, no, it should be Xbox Guy. Because of how fucking often he talks about Xbox. He can't get Xbox out of his fucking mouth. He can't. He really can't. Alright, I'm gonna continue the video. If there is stutters in chat, if you are stuttering, say it so that I can, try and figure out what the fuck's the issue.
To PlayStation is clearly Game Pass isn't enough. You would not be seeing Gears of War on PlayStation or Forza on PlayStation, or let's face it, soon to be Halo on PlayStation, if Game Pass numbers were enough on their own. And I do think 100% this is going to tank sales. Thanks, Nintendo. People are saying that.
I do agree with him. I do agree with him on this one thing, that the $80 is going to tank sales. But Dreamcast, you don't realize that, motherfucker, these companies were always going to do this because you're already locked in to this ecosystem. You can't change the ecosystem. You can't branch out to more people and get more players unless you sell it to more people. Which means... fuck. Which means you have to sell on other fucking platforms. You have to sell on other fucking platforms. Xbox has already realized this. PlayStation is starting to realize this. Nintendo are the only ones being stubborn fucking idiots. The consoles don't matter anymore. What matters are the MAUs. That's what matters. Because the console is just a plastic box. That's all it is. And when you take that plastic box away, and you strip it down to its bare components, all you have is a PC. Both consoles are so fucking similar that you could swap the chips and they would fucking work. We are now in the IP wars. We are now in the service wars. And right now, Xbox is winning. Xbox is winning. because they already saw this fucking coming. They saw this coming. And they realized, if we don't do this, if we just stay on the Xbox and just sell on here, we're not going to make enough money. Microsoft is going to shut us down because at that point, it doesn't make sense to fucking develop and to make Xbox consoles because we're just not making money. Yes, Chaos. Yes, it's too hard for them to understand. Payoff, it's probably Dreamcast. Because Harmon is an absolute fucking moron. And Reforge is so far up his ass that they can't see that he's actually fucking dumb. Censor didn't miss much, just Dreamcast being a fucking idiot and putting Nib in his fucking video. If you can't tell, I don't like Nib. But let's continue with this shit. See what the fuck is going on.
A lot. Oh my god. This is $91 by today's rates. Oh, hell nah. Game Pass for now, then. What a joke. Literally everybody is just instantly replying about how insulting this is. I want to give credit to the fact that I am glad that people seem to be so united in the pushback of this. Outer Worlds 2, it's $80. I wonder if it'll have the same reaction as when people saw the price of Mario Kart World.
It did. It fucking did. I think that had a stronger fucking reaction than Mario Kart World. Honestly. I think that it had a stronger reaction. Because guess what? You're dealing with fucking bullshit. And people are not going to want to pay $80 for this game. They're not. They're not going to. And yes, this is partially Nintendo's fault because they fucking opened Pandora's box. This is also Xbox's fault because they thought this was a good fucking idea. So now, we're in the situation where you have EA being the fucking good guys and saying, yeah, we're not gonna do $80 fucking games at the moment. Yeah, Rolo. Yeah. Yeah, he's wearing what we call the KJN shirt. Or as we like to call it, the pussy repellent. He's wearing the pussy repellent right now. He ain't getting any. He ain't getting any. At least with that thing on. At least with this thing on. He ain't getting any.
I think it's that a lot of people are like, okay, it'll be under-distributed because nobody's really clamoring for Outer Worlds 2. That said, just because Nintendo raised their price doesn't mean I give them a pass, but the fans will justify it saying play it on Game Pass. $80 base games in general suck, but at least this one will come down in price much sooner.
Rolo, his girlfriend didn't leave him. I just call it the pussy repellent because it's a fucking PlayStation shirt. And there is no girl that's going to see that and think it's hot. Yeah, censored. I understand why they're fucking doing it. That doesn't mean that it's good that they're fucking doing it. Doesn't mean that it's good.
Plus, on the PC side, likely you can just buy it on Steam for a large discount. It is wild to me that we really did just go from 60 to 70 to 80 in such a quick fashion. And I feel like this goes beyond inflation or people being like, oh, there's rising developer costs. I do think a lot of this just comes down to greed. I saw this tweet by
Wow! Wow! It's like we were telling you that the entire fucking time! It's like we've been saying that for fucking years! Who would have thought that all of this is due to greed? Who would have thought that $80 games are because of greed? Who would have thought that a fucking $700 console that doesn't even come with the disc drive and the stand was because of greed? Who would have fucking thought? Who would have thought? God damn it, Reforge, you're a fucking idiot. It's been a long day, chat. It's been a long fucking day. My brain's not working right. What the fuck do you think was gonna happen, Dreamcast? But I'm gonna say this, and I want someone to clip me. When Sony announces $80 games, and all these fucks defend it, I want to be the one to tell you that that's going to happen. Fucking clip it, because I know that's going to happen. I know that. And I want fucking screenshots. And I want fucking videos. And I want all these to be saved for when the day that fucking Sony announces that $80 games are going to be a thing. I want all of it. All of it. All of it.
And I actually think this is such a depressing point, but it is a good point. $80 games for the new wave are just going to be the norm going forward. $60 games will now be seen as budget. And I hate that.
Oh. Payoff, thank you for the 5. God damn it, Payoff. A broken cock can come twice a day or something like that. God damn it, Payoff. God damn it. Thank you for the 5.
Back in the day, and I hate to even use the term back in the day because we're talking about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, you used to have $60 games and $40 games. And occasionally, you'd get cool AA stuff that was like $30. But typically, it was $60 or it was $40. Now we're going to be in a spot where full-priced games are going to be $80 minimum, usually like $90, $100 special deluxe editions. But there's going to be discounted $60 games. I can only think about the fact that this is going to hurt sales. And I do.
No fucking shit. You are pricing your audience out of your fucking industry. You are pricing your audience out of your fucking industry. What do you think was gonna fucking happen, Dreamcast? This shit, we knew this shit was gonna happen when they raised prices from fucking 60 to 70. And guess what? Now, we don't have Japan Studio to make AA games. We don't. Sony fucking shut them down, and the remnants of it, Team Asobi, things worse. When you were the one cheering for fucking $70 games. You gave them a fucking inch, and now they want to run a mile. God damn it. Did it really come back? Did it really come back? God damn it. I'll give it a second. I'll give it a second. This is a cable. Because because my room is not in. God. Thank you, Censor, for the $1. I'm saying Game Pass explains the $80 price tag, but doesn't excuse it. Also, Nintendo's explanation is green, nothing else. True. True. This is all fucking inch, now they want to run a mile. Yeah. Oh my god, who would have thought that only making basically the same game over and over and over again and training your audience to only want that game is a bad thing. Look at where we are now. Look at where we are now, where Sony barely has any fucking output. They've canceled so many games because they thought live service would be the best thing to do. And now we're dealing with the aftermath from Sony. We're getting one. And that's Ghost of Yotei. Lost Soul aside, they are only publishing it. The new Marvel fighting game is made by Arc, and they're only publishing it. So now, they don't have jack shit besides Money Hiding Games and Ghost of Yotei. But this company is a good one. Make it make fucking sense.
I do think that even beyond sales, I think this is going to hurt the word of mouth. I do think that a big part of what makes video games so popular, so viral, so fun to play and share is the accessibility of it. Of, hey, I can buy it and tell my bro go buy it, and he can go out and purchase it as well. But an $80 price tag to me feels like a big leap over a $60 price tag. I want to end with this tweet I saw here. This is just a random take, but Bethesda has seemingly abandoned Starfield, despite...
Thank you, Censored, for the $1. Perhaps PlayStation's Japan games would have sold well if Sony actually gave them a semblance of marketing budget. True. They could have given them a tenth of what they spend on God of War, The Last of Us, and Horizon, and they would have actually sold. I'm just being honest. They would have actually sold.
Despite Todd Howard saying they were aiming for yearly expansions, there's not been a single word on a second expansion after Shattered Space. I reckon Bethesda has cut their losses and moved on their resources to focus on the Elder Scrolls 6. Now, the reason I want to end the video with this is that I do think we're in this spot where companies are just trying to figure out how to make the shortest window of the highest profit. Can we gouge the hell out of the big fan?
No fucking shit. Dreamcast, you're acting like this is... Oh my god, this is such a big epiphany. This is... No one's ever thought of this before. No one's thought of this before. This is such a grand idea. No, it isn't! We've been telling you this shit for fucking years! And now you fucking realize, oh, this is the consequences of our actions. You don't get to rewrite your own fucking history when we already know why the fuck this happens. All they want to do is make money. And every single video game company realized they had already peaked at the maximum amount of money they can make during COVID. And they all want that number again. So, they're to get that same amount of profit again. The world is fucking normal now. It's like COVID never happened. Except video game companies have forgotten that, and they're still trying to reach and grasp onto that small time. If COVID never happened, this shit would still probably happen, but it wouldn't have been as quick as it is now. $80 games would probably have been saved for maybe next gen, or the gen after. But no. No, they happened 5 years. 5 fucking years. Censored, the best way to maximize profits for these companies is to lay off a bunch of people. And is to find every single possible way that they can just charge their fucking customers. That's the one thing that Nintendo's good. But Nintendo has been dead since Iwata died. It's been dead since Iwata died. The early Switch gen, that was Iwata, and that was what his last grasp. And you look at 2017, and you look at that fucking lineup, and you realize, holy shit, that man tried to make this console fucking work. And then you look at this console, and there's fucking nothing. Holy shit.
And I think it's having what I want to call the Starfield effect. Starfield is not a good game. I actually think it's a pretty bad game in a lot of ways. But did you notice how nobody talked about
Iwata died 2016 or 2015, I believe around that time. The thing is that everything Iwata had set in motion, the person that came afterwards, not the guy that we have now, but the guy before, he was the one that basically kept... God fucking damn it, my damn Wi-Fi. Jesus Christ. Am I still fucking stuttering? Am I still stuttering? Of course I am. Of course I am. I don't know why I'm stuttering, but of course I'm stuttering. Hold on, give me a second. Let me see. Okay, so it's on and off. Alright. Alright, chat. Alright. I can't fix the stuttering because the stuttering is because of my Wi-Fi, and that's because I don't have an Ethernet cable plugged into my computer. Yeah, chaos. Yeah. Yeah, it went downhill. It's went downhill. It's made me sad. I'm sad. I swear to God, there's a download going on. I'm going... Hold on, chat. Hold on. Give me a second. Swear to God. You fucking piece of shit. You fucking piece of shit. Oh my God, I figured it out. I figured it out, chat. I think it was because my Steam Deck was trying to install shit. God damn it. Alright, let's continue this shit. Let's continue.
about it even a month after launch? Whereas people are still talking about Skyrim, people are still playing the hell out of Oblivion. games that are at a $40 or a $50 price tag, right?
Skyrim was 60 on launch. Skyrim was 60. Oblivion had fucking terrible microtransactions. It's just because Starfield wasn't the greatest game. That's it. That's really it. That's really the reason why it isn't playing. Those teeth did not help him, Random. Those teeth did not fucking help him. Yes, the almighty horse armor. Long live the horse armor. God damn it. Fuck. God damn, you so... Alright. Censored, I'd say it's mid to great. Like, there are parts of the game that are mid, there are parts of the game that are good. Rollo, it probably would have been cheaper to do that. Probably would have been cheaper. Let's be honest.
I do think that, honestly, these high prices, trying to put stuff in such a corner, on such a pedestal, I do think it's creating less word of mouth, less virality, less general groundswell hype. There's an industry term called the thunderclap. I think you've probably heard of this. I've used it in videos before. Companies try to time all their good news in one big spike to really, really skyrocket pre-orders. You come out with a big trailer. The trailer has a release date. Downloading the game early gives you a demo. Pre-ordering it gives you a skin. All right, we want to have all the reviews drop at exactly this time at this date.
Groundswell? No, it's called the thunderclap. It's a classic marketing term. And a classic marketing trick where you try and drum up interest by having a bunch of good things come out in one day, the same day that you can either buy or pre-order something. Like this. Yeah, PlayStation fails at that. Nintendo actually failed at that with the Switch 2 because they tried to do the thunderclap with their show. That's why you see a bunch of the thunderclap mentality is why you see a bunch of it's why you have things like CES. It's why you have things like Summer Games Fest and why you had E3. All these big things coming out at the same time, and people are like, oh my god, we have to do this. We have to get this now. That's basically what the thunderclap is. It's you are trying to drum up as much interest as possible so that you get someone to buy it. Yeah, Rollo. My dad explained it to me because he works a very high profile job. And he had to learn this. And he explained it to me because I asked him about it. And, like, he'll do this with his product. And it works. It fucking works. It actually works.
So we could be trending on Twitter and on YouTube, get people excited for that upcoming review embargo and stuff. They call it the thunderclap. You may see that thunder, you may see that lightning, but you hear the thunder and it gets you that call to action. I honestly think these $80 games, they're trying to cash in on the thunderclap. They're trying to basically have the shortest spike, a flash of lightning of profitability, and then they just throw it away. And I feel like that's not the way games are supposed to work. I do think games are supposed to have that longer tail, that longer hype. And I just feel like that era of gaming where it's more of a community instead of just a profit margin, it's weird to feel it fade.
It's like we knew this was gonna happen years ago. Dreamcast. It's like we were telling you this was going to happen years ago. Yet you and your ilk fucking ignored us. You fucking ignored us. And now you're seeing the consequences of your actions.
But these are just some off-the-cuff thoughts. I love Outer Worlds 1. I'm very pissed about Outer Worlds 2. But I guess we'll figure out if anybody actually buys it. I think this game is going to flop hard. Guess we'll find out, though. Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you...
And we're not... Okay. That Dreamcast guy video is over. So, chat, you're going to have a choice. We're doing the poll. Who's next? Gonna have, God damn it. Harmon Smith. Switch Force. Or Nintendo Prime. Go on, chat. Vote. You get an option. You get a choice. Do we want to do Harmon, Switch Force, or Nintendo Prime? Censored, they're all fucking bootlickers. They're all fucking bootlickers. Bootlicking is their favorite pastime to do. It's their favorite pastime. It's what they love to do. They love it. Oh, they love it. Okay, what the fuck is going on? They're all pretendos. Yes, they're all pretendos. Oh god, they're pretendos, god damn it. It's tied at the moment. Oh, no, it's not tied. It's not tied. Nintendo Prime is winning right now. Hey, Power! Thanks for stopping by. Alright. No, Power, we have not gone to Reforge yet. You missed Dreamcast guy. Alright, chat. I'm going to end the poll here. So, Harmon and Nintendo Prime both, they both tied. Nintendo Prime. Okay. We are going to get Gonna get a coin flip. Alright, chat. Harmon will be heads. Nintendo Prime will be tails. It's Nintendo Prime. Alright.
Well, folks, we have a bevy of stories.
Big Nintendo Switch 2 has arrived. Big Nintendo Switch 2 news has arrived. We're doing Nintendo Prime, and then after Nintendo Prime, we'll do Harmon. Then after Harmon, we'll do Switch Wars.
Stories for you today surrounding the Nintendo Switch 2 and games coming to it, including things like Call of Duty and some other stuff. And I feel like a lot of these stories are building towards a narrative of an upcoming Nintendo Direct. We're going to talk about that towards the end. We'll have our timestamps.
God damn it, I chose the wrong fucking video. Hold on. I want to find the one where he claimed, oh... Ah, here it is.
Oh, hey, didn't see that. I was sitting there playing on my Switch 2, and look, yeah, we have some stuff to get to today, but
Here
I'm
it is.
using the D-Brand Kill Switch case.
I don't
which
fucking
is really cool. I
care.
actually got the full travel kit here. There's this cover. You can put backing systems and backing up games, or
Let's do this.
first,
Okay,
let's talk about the
there we
hack.
go.
So this David Buchanan guy says he did a Userland ROP on day 1, and you can see it running here. There's a little frame buffer graphic running in the top corner. He claims he couldn't full screen this because the frame rate would tank. Now,
Hey Richard, thanks for coming in. Is this fucking Blue Sky? What the fuck are you doing? What? Why are you using that piece of shit? But if you don't know what a ROP, basically this is just a way to execute non-sanctioned code onto a device. This is the first step to a full hack. So it usually starts with this, and then you can run something small like Of course he did, Power. Of course he fucking did. But you can run something small like basically centered. It's lockpicking the front door. And it is the first step towards a full hack. So now, this is good. Because that means that we can go and say, fuck you, Nintendo. I'm not going to use your bullshit. What? He's calling out Alex? Shadow, send that to me on Discord. Send it to me on Discord. If he's calling out the himbo, this is not good. If he's calling out the himbo, we're not gonna have some fun. Because we already dealt with some bullshit with Nib and Astro. I'm not covering that today. I'm not covering that today because if I do, I'm gonna get mad. But yeah, this is good. We like to see this. How are you going to cope?
look, full disclosure here. I am a scrub. I know nothing about the modding scene. I know some stuff about hacking, but knowing how to hack some things is far different than me being able to hack like a piece of hardware. I'm used to like, oh, you want to like hack a piece of software or something. And so I don't really know what this means other than it is a hack. So I'm relying on others. So I want to let you know I am outside my bounds. So
And yet, you still talk shit on Twitter and said that the Switch 2 was fucking unhackable. And now, motherfucker, you have to back down. Oh, how I love when you fucking retards have to back down.
Just want to give some context I at least saw online. So this was over on the our Nintendo Reddit. This is where I originally saw it, and you can see the Blue Sky link. And this user right here seems to give a good explanation. So this person says, is a user land ROP exploit unless they take it to another stage. It's just that. This guy.
It's basically what I explained before. It allows you to run unsanctioned code but you can't run, like, this is the first step. It's basically what he's saying. This guy down here, it is a super duper simple hack, but it is the first step towards custom firmware. This is how it all starts. We found a way in. Now we have to continue trying to find the other ways in. Thank you, Death Shadow. We're going to finish this and then I'll... Actually, chat, we're going to do that right now, actually. Since it's a short. Hello, you piece of shit.
Please, Mudahar, please, I'll defend you. Please have me on your channel. Please give me your viewership. I'll do everything. I'll defend your Switch 2 takes. Please give me money.
Thank you, Censored. Thank you, Censored, for the $1. Big Nintendo news, everyone! I, Nintendo Prime, have to eat this huge heaping helping of crow! And Harmon? Let me see news first. Okay, yeah, what the fuck. Harmon, that did not fucking happen. Nando, that is, that right there is Harmon coping. Why the fuck are you... I'm not even gonna ask. But if you don't understand, that right there is Harmon coping. Because he did not understand that Alex was fucking bashing him for buying a Switch 2. Because Alex was bashing him. He was. No, yeah, it's a constant cope session with Harmon. Let's get back to the Nintendo Prime. We don't have any confirmation that he is doing anything harmful or that someone is going to be in danger because of Harmon. Oh, okay, yeah, we can investigate him for doing that. All right. Yeah, we're fine with that. All right, let's get back to the Nintendo Prime bullshit.
Guy says, can you please elaborate more? What are the implications? And Whelpsai says this. ROP means essentially that he managed to hijack the control flow of the program he was running so that it could run pieces of other code already in memory. Basically running tiny pieces of the software Nintendo wrote in an order and that way that they just didn't intend it to run. But it doesn't allow arbitrary code and it can't yet, if ever, take over the whole device. It could be an entry point to another attack or...
This is the entry point. We opened the door. Now we have to go to the house to find what we want. Because this, if you don't know how hacking works, yeah, Power, it's exactly what it means. This is the entry point. We've opened the door. Now we have to find what we're looking for. And what we're looking for right now is a kernel level exploit that we can use to download custom firmware. We need to find that, where you can just solder a chip to the board, and that bypasses the copy protection and everything. That's probably already being developed right now. But this means that soft modding is very close.
Not. So essentially, it's a very minor way of getting into the system, but you're just running Nintendo's code a little bit out of order. You're not actually getting in and injecting your own code. And while this hack could be the beginning, this absolutely could be the beginning that leads to the system being fully hacked.
It is. It is the beginning. You're just coping right now because you were wrong about the Switch 2 being unhackable. And now you're being a whiny little baby. Oh, where? You're being a whiny little baby. You can't accept that, guess what? This is the start to everything being open. It's the start.
Hacked. It might not be. This might not be the method to get in. And right now, you can't actually do anything. It's not like they're injecting their own code. Not like they're putting homebrew on. It's just the beginning. And look, these ROP hacks are fairly popular from when I was able to Google search online. They happen on pretty much every piece of hardware. So I'm not going to sit here and panic over it as a consumer that just doesn't want things leaked online.
But you're already fucking panicking. If you can't tell, you can look at this fucking... Hold on, chat.
Popular from when I was able to Google search online. They happen on pretty much every piece of hardware. So I'm not going to sit here and panic over it as a consumer.
Hold on, chat. Hold on. God damn it.
These ROP hacks are fairly popular from when I was able to Google search. Ahead. I already admitted the story.
Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. Those are the eyes of someone that's afraid. Those are the eyes of someone that's panicking. He says, "Oh, I'm fine." He's not fine. He's actively scared. Because not only does this make his credibility look worse, but this also means that, guess what, dumbass? Guess what? Your precious Nintendo console, everything's gonna get out. Which means we're gonna have an emulator probably in the next couple months. We're gonna have an emulator in the next couple months.
Reported on was wrong, and I already admitted that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But hey, you know what? It's been hacked. It's just kind of a useless hack right now, as nothing can really be done with it. But maybe someday something will. Now we gotta get to another story about.
He's so fucking afraid. He's so fucking afraid. Like he was almost out of breath. His heart rate was probably spiking with that shit. He's probably like, "Oh my god, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this." And he had to talk about it because it was the biggest story out of the Switch 2 that's come out. It was the biggest one. He had to talk about it. He didn't want to talk about it. And he's fucking afraid. He's fucking afraid that guess what? Switch 2, it's going to get hacked. It's going to get leaked. We're going to have an emulator, and we're not going to have a reason to need your fucking console.
Game key cards, and I hope this is the last time we have to talk about it, but that's because developers are thanking Nintendo for them. So game key card might upset gamers, but one insider says publishers are thanking Nintendo.
Hold on, what the fuck is this? Please tell me that you have your fucking sources in... Continue without support, you jackasses. From GoNintendo.com, game key cards might upset gamers, but one insider thinks publishers are thanking Nintendo for the move. I wonder why. That would be the case. I wonder why. Yeah, totally legit. Totally legit censored. This is completely and utterly legit.
So as we go down here, it says, gamers have been quite miffed with game key cards, as many think the fact that downloads are required defeats the purpose of doing a physical release in the first place. Gamers want to have their purchases all in one physical release, be that a game card on Switch or Switch 2, or discs on other platforms. That said, early sales of game key cards seems to show that at least a decent portion of consumers are okay with it.
Chat, I want to ask, how many of you think the average consumer does not know the difference between an actual Switch game that's on the fucking cart and a game key card? How much you want to bet that they don't know the fucking difference? How much? Because I can say this right now, they don't know the fucking difference. They just see the game. So they are going to buy the game. If someone wanted Street Fighter 6 on Switch 2, they are going to buy Street Fighter 6 on Switch 2, and they see it physically. So they're not going to notice that, guess what? The game isn't on the fucking cart. So these sales numbers does not mean that consumers are okay with it. Those sales numbers, that means that they don't know the fucking difference. And they don't care. I'm just saying.
In an interview with Bloomberg, Neko Kino of Kaios Company Consultancy Agency, which offers support devices.
We're going to look that up. Fuck. Kaios Co. Limited, I think. We found it, chat. Hey, look, chat. Look what I found. Look what I found, chat. Look at that. So they do sales and buying, foreign market research, localization, business introductions. Oh, it's almost like actually doing research does something for anybody. It's like it makes things better.
devices to developers, had some insight to share on the publisher side of things. According to Kino, while gamers might not be smiling about game keycards, publishers are applauding the move. More expensive games, along with cartridges that just contain code to download data, may not make gamers happy, but software publishers are thanking Nintendo as they face rising costs to make games.
Now, chat, if this is true, I would believe it. I would believe it. Because why put the entire game on the cart and spend $20 on each cart? Why spend $20 on each cart when you can just get a game key card for 20 cents? Which do you think publishers are going to choose? They only have two options. A 64GB cart or a game key card. They're going to choose the one that's 20 cents. Because that means that they get more money. But I don't think that this is true. I really don't think. Because guess what? Game key cards already exist. They already exist. Because on the Switch, they had a system where when you buy a physical game, and this is Switch 1, some games would have to be downloaded. So what some companies would do is that they would buy a 1GB card. A 1GB card. And all that contained was basically a key to say you can download this update, which in fact is the entire game. These existed before. I think that companies don't like that these are basically being told, because on the box it says game key card. Companies don't want you to know you're not getting the entire thing. They don't want you to know that a game key card is different from a normal cart. So I don't think that they're thanking Nintendo for this, simply because customers are being told directly you're not getting the actual game. Yes, censor. Most customers won't look over the box. They won't. But companies don't care about that. Because what they see is that they see that this is on the box, and if anybody were to read it, they would be able to tell you're not actually getting the game. Simple as that.
Now, look, I'm not the biggest fan of things like this, Yakuza 0 being a game keycard, and yeah, well, it's certainly better than...
And yet you bought both.
something like this, Split Fiction being literally a code in the box, so...
You fucking bought both. If you're not a fan of it, don't buy them. Don't fucking buy them. If you don't like game key cards, don't buy them. God damn it, Payoff, you're not wrong. You're not fucking... DSP is the father. Nintendo Prime's his brother. And Reforge is their son. Is DSP's son. God damn it, Payoff. God damn it, payoff. We're not watching DSP's uncle, we're watching his brother. God damn it, payoff. God damn it. Alright. If you didn't like him, don't buy him. How about Smith? Harmon Smith is, their cousin that they lock in the shed. And they don't let out. And that's saying something for those three. God damn it, censored. But seriously, if you didn't like them, don't fucking buy them. But you bought them just because they have the logo Nintendo on it. You know, chat, if I were ever to buy a Switch 2, what I would do is that if I bought a Switch 2 and I had to buy a game key card, I'd buy it to test it. To see how the fuck these work. How the fuck these work. And that's it. I would buy one of them for testing purposes only. I will only buy one of them for testing purposes only. Because these things are fucking stupid. They are fucking stupid.
Show you. Don't worry. Code's already been redeemed. The point is that I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather things be more like Cyberpunk, which is a complete cartridge. Notice no warning label down here because it's the complete game. So I would rather that be the way that things go on Switch 2. It's just not reality. And developers have been pushing, publishers really, have been pushing a lot to go all digital. But
wrong. Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft have been pushing to go all digital. The console manufacturers, not the publishers. You want to know why? It's pretty simple. When Nintendo sells a game on the eShop, they either get 100% of that sale or 30%. That cut is significantly smaller when bought at retail. Because guess what? The retailers take a cut. And then you have to take a cut for shipping costs, and manufacturing costs, and distribution costs. So your return on investment is smaller. That's why Nintendo's doing this. Because this is their thought. If they're not getting the entire game on the cart, why go to the store and buy it? Why physically leave your house and go to the store and buy what's essentially a paperweight? When instead, you could just go on the eShop and buy it there. That's their plan. It's the same reason why Microsoft, why they are having codes in the boxes of their new releases. Because again, why go to the store and buy it when you can just buy it on the fucking store that's already here? True, NM, true. You don't own the game at all. Which is why we all like piracy. Because if I don't own it, and I can never own it, how the fuck am I stealing it? How? How the fuck am I stealing it?
But Nintendo knows they have a large fan base that likes to buy physically, and they want to have, games on store shelves that aren't just Nintendo games. So chances are there was a conversation. This is obviously just me guessing between Nintendo and these companies, and the companies, found a compromise to get their games on store shelves. Because look, the alternative is people think, if game key cards didn't exist for something like Bravely Default, that, they would just put it on a cartridge. Or they wouldn't, and they would just go digital only. Nintendo can't.
No. They would have put it on the cart. They would have. If they could have bought a 10 gig cart. Or a 12 gig cart. They would have put it on the cart if you could have. But a 64 gig cart? For a game that's, 11 gigs? Why the fuck would I put it on there? Think about it this way. Why spend the extra money to put the game on the cart when there's just going to be so much wasted space on that cart? When instead I can just pay 20 cents for a game key card? And at that point, it's 11 gigs. You can install it. It'll be fine. You can install it. This is Nintendo trying to cut out the entirety of physical. This isn't Nintendo. And this isn't the fucking publishers saying that they don't want their own fucking games in stores. In fact, publishers want their games in stores. Because that way, people can actually see them. And they can actually pick them up. This, to me, feels more like Nintendo folding to them so that they can still have store space and shelf space than Nintendo folding to the publisher. The Nintendo folding to the publishers because they don't want to have games in stores. They still take a cut no matter how it gets sold. And then it's worse on the Switch because it's only streaming. You can only play it through cloud streaming on the Switch. It's really stupid. It's really stupid.
Can't force companies to use cartridges. Like if they only made cartridges, that sounds like a solution, but it might not be. So we have to understand that this is just the way the industry is going. It sucks. I hate, all digital future, even though I accept.
You are an absolute fucking retard. Yeah, censored. Yeah. Physical and PC. Yeah, when DRM bullshit barely worked, and you had to have one disc in your drive at all times. And if you lose that disc, you can't play the game, and it's already just downloaded onto your hard drive. Yeah, physical and PC, it was killed by DRM bullshit, and it was killed because, for some reason, they didn't actually go with fucking Blu-rays. They just stuck with DVDs. God damn it, payoff. Yeah, there's more DRM bullshit on the Switch, too. DRM's not going away.
Accepted it on PC a long time ago. But whatever. Let's get into some neutral news that's probably going to excite some people. And I'm calling it neutral because the people that it should excite the most is Nintendo. Yesterday...
My guy, you are practically pissing your pants because of this shit. Look at those fucking eyes. He is really fucking excited. He's so excited, chat. He's so excited. Oh my god. Daddy Nintendo's doing good. Oh yay, Daddy Nintendo.
On the Nintendo Byte podcast, we have Paul Gale Networkon, who said he had a source, and Paul's really accurate with sales data about the sales of Nintendo Switch 2. Since that podcast ended last night, a couple other people reached out to me that have credentials and have essentially verified that story. Now,
Say them. Fucking say them. You say, oh, these people came to me. And they said this verified. This is what I don't like about this shit where it's like, oh, this is a verified source. Well, who's the source? Well, I can't tell you. Well, where did he get his information? Well, I can't tell you. Okay, so you have a verified source that you can't tell me. Pay up, get some sleep, please. Get some sleep, man. But you have a verified source that you won't say the name of, saying shit that they won't fucking confirm to us. Why the hell are we supposed to believe you? Yes, the sources that I made the fuck up. That is... Have a good night, Nando. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for stopping by. No, yeah, payoff, I bet. My roommate works the night shift and he just sleeps all day and then wakes up and then sleeps. Night shifts are brutal. They are brutal. But seriously, this is why people don't fucking believe these sources. Because you're saying, well, this person said this, but I'm not allowed to tell you who the person is or where they got their information. So I'm just going to sit here and guess. Censored you do. You install the game. And if you want to play the game, you have to have the key card in the system to play it. Remember what I said about Nintendo making it so that they can just get rid of physical? Wow. It's like I was right.
now again, I have not seen this data for myself. I'm just sharing it out.
You haven't... Hey guys! Hey guys! Hey guys! This one guy told me that the Switch 2 is doing good, but I haven't seen the data. I haven't seen anything. And these other guys said he was being true. But I still haven't seen the data, so I'm just gonna share it with you. I'm just gonna share it with you because I love Nintendo. Jesus. Chat Dexerto. Use this fucking fatty as a goddamn source. Power, so apparently, it's about the Switch 2. Have you seen all the stuff about the Switch 2 breaking records? They come from Nintendo Prime, who had a guy tell him that it was breaking records. But he has not seen these numbers. He has not seen anything in terms of data or in terms of actual, like, physical evidence to say, yes, this is true. All he has is hearsay. All he has is, oh, yeah, 3 million sales, 3 independent sources, but he doesn't know but he hasn't seen the data. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
In the world, but I want to let you know that it looks like Nintendo.
Yeah, Power. One of them was Dexerto. An actual journalistic site. I wouldn't call them. Jesus Christ. Chat, you see why I'm gonna say this? If he's not willing to say, if he's not willing to show any data, most of the time, don't fucking trust him. Most of the time, don't trust this shit. Because, oh, I heard this from a guy who told me this. Censored the both as bad. But with this, Polygon doesn't admit that they haven't seen the fucking data.
Switch 2 broke every single launch record for day one sales. So, I put out this tweet today, 24-hour launch sales.
Let me just use myself as a source. Yes, Power. Yes. They're using him as the data point. They're using this tweet as fucking evidence. This tweet. This tweet, which I'm going to say this. He said, I have now heard from 3 independent people. He won't say who the 3 people are. He says Nintendo has globally shifted over 3 million Switch 2 units. Shifted does not mean sold. That means that they've just been moved, which could mean shipped. And then he says this doesn't include any additional sales made today and over the upcoming weekend. And then instead of showing actual fucking sources and showing actual data and being like, well, here was the... No fucking shot, Power. No shot. There is no shot. Send that to me. Send that to me. Send that to me. No shot. Notice how he doesn't say and show the PS4's actual fucking bullshit. actual, like, record-holding number. He doesn't say that. He just says, oh, I was told this because from 3 independent people that I'm not going to name, that this isn't even... Thank you, Power. Holy shit. There is no shot. There is no shot, chat. God damn it.
Sales. So,
There's no shot, chat. The AI overview. The Nintendo Switch 2 has reportedly sold an estimated 3 million units worldwide in its first 24 hours of launch. The figure, which comes from reports from three independent sources, according to Nintendo fucking Prime, surpasses the previous console launch records. Nintendo expects to sell 15 million Switch 2 units during its current fiscal year. I fucking can't. Power. What the fuck? You mean to tell me that Game Rant, Insider Gaming, VGC charts are using him as a source? None of this is fucking confirmed. None of this is confirmed. There is no data. He has not even seen the fucking data. This is just hearsay. This is the equivalent of me saying, well, I heard 3 trusted sources tell me that Nintendo eats fucking dick. Yeah, I hear that they eat dick, and they eat more dick than Sony did. This is... How the fuck are people going along with this? Are these journalistic sites, are these journalists just so fucking desperate to say that Nintendo fucking won? Thank you, Ranta Boy, for the $1. Games journalism does need a fucking reboot. It does need a fucking reboot. You are literally sourcing nobody. You're not even sourcing somebody. There is no fucking shot. I'm not believing anything until I see actual fucking data. I want to see fucking data. There is no shot. There is no fucking shot.
I put out this tweet today, 24-hour launch sales. I have now heard from 3 independent people that Nintendo have globally shifted over 3 million Switch 2 units. This doesn't include any additional sales made today already and over the upcoming weekend, because again, not technically sold out yet. For perspective, no console has come close to that level of sales in 24 hours. Over a 24-hour launch, the previous record was held by PlayStation 4, which sold just over 1 million units worldwide. The 2-month total record is around 4.5 million units, held by PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. Nintendo is on pace to beat that in less than a week. Sales of this magnitude have literally never been seen in console history. And yes, I go down here and make sure I shout out friend of the channel,
Paul Gale Network. Thank you, Censored. For the $1. I do not know, but there is you could do what Alex did and use AI for that. In chat. Let's see if this reputable source would actually put this on his own Twitter. So this tweet was from June 6th. Chat. This man censored. This is the source that Nintendo Prime referenced. I do not see a single fucking tweet about how much the Switch 2 sold besides this. And you know how I can tell, chat? If he were confident in his numbers, he would have posted it on his own fucking Twitter. He would have posted it. And thank you, Power. So we are literally going off of an actual unconfirmed source. You can't make this up. I wish I could, but I can't.
Paul Gale Network, because if he didn't say that on the podcast, these people wouldn't have reached out to me. So, yeah, I think that that is really good news for Nintendo. Of course, they are breaking records. Anyone who thought this was going to be a Wii U style flop, this doesn't prove you wrong yet because it's just launch sales. It was always going to sell well at launch. But selling better than anything has ever sold before, While that was predicted by many, and again, we don't have the full launch sales through the weekend, I would venture to say that things are going very, very well.
Motherfucker, you have no credibility. Your sources, your actual fucking source, didn't even post this on his own fucking Twitter. There is no way to go and back up your shit. There's no way to go and say, this is where he's getting it from. Because guess what? All you have is fucking hearsay. All you have is that he said, she said bullshit. That's all you have. And then you're passing it off like, guess what? Guess what? I'm right. I'm the one who's right. You're not fucking right. In fact, there is no fucking confirmation of any of this shit. So they've only put out projected numbers and not actual sales numbers. The thing is that Power, if they sold that many Switch 2s, that would have been plastered everywhere. That they had the biggest console launch of all time. Which gives even less credibility to his fucking dumb shit. Because guess what? They would have fucking said it. But they didn't. So they didn't fucking say it. You're going off of 3 sources that don't have, 2 of them you can't even fucking say, one of them that on his own fucking timeline, on his own fucking Twitter, and his own LinkedIn, there is no information about this shit, and you're passing it off as fact. I knew that you were a fucking idiot, but I didn't know that you would be this much of a fucking idiot. Power, he mentions the 2 other sources, but he does not say names, does not give Twitter, bios, does not give anything. He says that they were 2 anonymous sources that came to back up the first source's claim. It's all fucking hearsay. And the fact that fucking actual publications, actual fucking publications that people will actually look at and be like, that is credible, are using you as their source. That, to me, sounds off as a fucking dumb shit. Holy fuck. If you're going to make claims like this, have a fucking source. Because if this was, let's say, in the court of law, and you used those 2 sources, those 3 sources, and said everything, guess what? You would lose that case. Because you have no credibility, nothing. Nothing at all. Chat, I gotta go get a fucking water. I'll be back. God damn it. I'll be back, chat. What do we want for,
Give me your mailing address.
I'll be back, chat.
I'm tired of people saying that because I am who I am, I can't eat shit out of my fucking ass. Fool? Eat it. Kiss my fucking ass and lick my balls. Eat it. Fucking eat it. Oh, he's doing a meme. Oh, this is cringe. Eat it. Eat it. I am fucking based. Fucking eat it. Shut the fuck up. Take your fucking ass and eat it. Eat it. Kiwi Farms. I want to mail you a spoon on a daily fucking basis. Phil's a racist, Phil's a sexist, Phil's this, Phil's that. I am who I am. I am fucking based. Eat it. Kiss my fucking ass and lick my balls. Eat it. Fucking eat it. Oh, he's doing a meme. Oh, this is cringe. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. I am fucking based. Eat it. Fucking eat it. Shut the fuck up. I am who I am. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Fucking eat it. Oh, he's doing a meme. Oh, this is cringe. Eat it. Eat it.
Alright, chat, I'm back. We had to, Oh, it's fine, Pickplup. I'm just grateful that you're here at all. That all of you are here at all. You missed quite a lot. You missed quite a lot. But you're here. That's all that matters. So, yeah. Any fucking site that used you as a fucking source should be disregarded. Every fucking site that used you as a source.
And I would suspect Nintendo will make an announcement next month, although they could hold off till the next investors meeting and then give updated figures. Whatever the case might be, whenever Nintendo decides to share the numbers, it's going to be quite impressive, in my estimation.
If they were impressive as you say, they would have been shared on by now. And then that's just a bunch of bullshit. That's just a bunch of bullshit, chat. Alright. Alright, chat. Next up, hold on, just give me a second with that. You get to witness some of the stuff that's going to, you get to see what will be next. Here it is.
Hey there, gamers. Dreamcast Guy here, and
No, we're not doing you. Alright, chat. You know who's next.
The Switch.
I know one's gonna be very mad about this. Harmon Smith. The Switch 2 is the new Wii U. A godlike launch downplayed by corrupt gaming journals and YouTubers. And we have already confirmed that in fact, the numbers are being inflated. So what the fuck are you gonna say? You fucking dumb shit? Yes, I smelled Axe body spray the moment that he fucking arrived. See what the fuck you want. You fucking dumb shit.
This launch has been really, really interesting because all we've seen is just the same old tired arguments against the Switch carried over onto the Switch 2. You know, the people who religiously hated the Switch 1 have now, like, turned tail and started complaining about the Switch 2, even though these were the very same people insisting that a Switch Pro or a new console would fix all of Nintendo's problems.
Harmon, what the fuck are you saying? I'm just gonna say this launch is fucking terrible. The only good thing is that you can actually kind of buy it. They actually have stock. And even then, why would you want to buy it? You get what? The new Mario Kart, which in some areas is worse than Mario Kart 8, which is 60, and looks worse than it, which is also a Wii U game. You get Cyberpunk, that runs worse than the Steam Deck, and looks worse than the Steam Deck. And then what? You have Welcome Tour. That's your fucking lineup. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I forgot the enhanced versions of games that came out years ago. That is your lineup. That is your lineup. But no. This is a great launch. This is a great launch, people. It's a great launch.
The reality of the situation is these people are never
There it is! There it is, chat! There it is! His fucking catchphrase.
going to be happy no matter what Nintendo does. And you can see this a lot by seeing people complain about the Switch 2's launch lineup. Right? You have so many people coming out and saying that they don't need it, that it's not a very good platform, that it's unnecessary, and
the only thing that you have to have a Switch 2 for is Mario Kart World and Welcome Tour. An $80 overpriced kart racer that in some areas is worse than the original one, than Mario Kart 8, and a fucking instruction manual. Everything else can be played on other devices, whether that be a PC, another console, or the Switch 1. There is nothing... Who the fuck is sending me shit? Hey, Spec. Hey, Spec. Hey, Spec. I see it. I saw it. I saw it. I saw it. How's work? How's work, Spec? There he is. There he is. There he is. Hi, Spec. This happened last time with Gara, where I sent Gara something. Oh, I bet. Hopefully you didn't have something as bad as what happened last night. No, yeah, but there is no reason why I need a Switch 2, besides the fact that it is the second Switch. That is the reason at this point. That is the reason. That is the reason.
And the reality is completely different, you know. Not only is Mario Kart World a banger, you know, by far one of the best games of the year, way better than Mario Kart 8, by the way. I've been seeing a lot of people say 8 is better. That is not the case. I can safely say that now. Not only do you have like Mario Kart 8, you have like a wide range of other titles that are available on the console, right?
Other games that are on other consoles that I can already play at better frame rates, in better resolutions, and better everything. I can already play them. I can already play Cyberpunk on the go because I own a Steam Deck. Hey, Dez. I can already play all the other games on the Switch 2 because guess what? They're on other fucking platforms, you dipshit.
You have slop like Cyberpunk 2077 and Street Fighter 6, and you also have legitimately good games like Fantasy Life 2 and Hitman World of Assassins, right? You know, there's lots.
I can already play them. I can already play them. I can already fucking play them. You say that as if I needed Switch 2 to fucking play them. I can already fucking play them on my fucking consoles that I already own. I can already play all the shit. So what is there that's going to be better on the Switch 2 than what I already have? Nothing. Your answer is nothing.
Lots of good games on here, like new and old alike. And the giant mega Kamehameha cope from a lot of people is complaining about like how these games aren't exclusive, you know, conveniently ignoring the fact that there's virtually no such thing as exclusives on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC, but somehow this is like a huge, massive deal breaker.
The problem is, Harmon, is that Nintendo is asking $450 base at launch for a console that is worse than a Steam Deck, which is $400. And what they're asking is that they want that $450 to play games that you can already play on other platforms. I can already play Cyberpunk at 60 FPS on my Steam Deck. I can already play Street Fighter 6 on my Steam Deck, on my PC, on my Xbox. I can already play these games. I already can. So you saying this shows that you do not understand the criticism of the Switch and its lineup. It isn't that there isn't enough exclusives. It's that the games that it already has are either worse or not that much better than what is already on the market and what people already own. My brother was interested in a Switch 2, but isn't anymore because Nintendo is basically asking him for $450 for what is right now a Mario Kart machine. He can already play Cyberpunk. He can already play Street Fighter. He can already play Yakuza. He can already play all these games. It's the same reason why people dunk on fucking PlayStation. Because PlayStation basically says, you pay us to play this game. Worse than the PC. I hold true what I said about the PS5 that I do about the Switch 2. If you're going to sell me something that costs as much as my rent, give me a fucking reason and justify why I should buy it. And neither company has given me a reason to justify buying it. Valve gave me a reason to buy a Steam Deck. And Xbox gave me a reason to buy a Series S. I'm still waiting for that reason from both companies. And I am yet to fucking get it. Welcome in, Sumtendo. Welcome in. You missed quite a show. Who was fucking tagging me? Nando, are you still watching? If you're still watching, that's some pretty good art right there. But just so you know, Klutzy is in Gara server. He is in Gara server.
For Nintendo fans who have never played games, the games that have been available on other consoles, right? So like Street Fighter 6, like, oh, I already played that, even though, someone like me, like, hasn't, It's been...
Harmon, you realize that Nintendo's customer base, who they're trying to win over with the Switch 2, is current Switch owners and new fans. The thing is that most people actually own and use, I can't believe that you don't understand this, they own multiple platforms and play on multiple platforms. So guess what? You you have not played these games because you forced yourself and basically said, "Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow, Nintendo's the greatest ever. There's no one that does it better. Nintendo's the best. Nintendo's the best. Nintendo's the greatest." And yet, other people are not like you. I use the Switch 2 as my main fucking console. That was my main console, was the Switch. And I still owned an Xbox One and a PS4. And I still played on a shitty 2015 MacBook Air. I use multiple platforms. Something can be your main platform, like how PC is my main platform, and I can still play on others. Censored. What the fuck is your idea? Because now I want to ask. Des, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It should be that he thinks that that fucking that Princess Peach Showtime Power Boss Xenoblade is peak. It's peak. And this is also coming from a Xenoblade fanboy, so take it with what you will. Unlike all these other fanboys, I understand that I am a fanboy. In that I don't see as clearly as somebody else.
It's been a giant Kamehameha Cope. Even though that something like Fantasy Life 2 came out on like May 21st, 2025, and has like a better version available on Switch, that somehow doesn't.
The best version is on PC. The best version is on PC. Oh yeah, Chaos. My Xbox One S is still plugged in because I use it as my upstairs. Because my Series S is downstairs, so that I can play Game Pass games on that. While my One S is upstairs, so that I can use it for movies as a DVD player and to play certain games. Wait, Power, you haven't played 1, 2, or 3? You played Xenogears and Xenosaga. And you played X. But you haven't played 1, 2, or 3? Okay, you played 1 and X. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'd be worried there for a second because I'm like, how have you not played the main number games? And also, hopefully, Nintendo actually gets off their asses and is like, you know what? You know what? Instead of updating ARMS, let's actually update games that people actually want. You know, do that. Do that. Give me a fucking 60 FPS patch. that'll actually give me a reason to buy a Switch 2. I'm not going to fucking buy a Switch 2 because fuck you. You lost a customer.
Doesn't count as a good Switch 2 game, even though, like, you know, my time spent playing it, it's probably my favorite game I picked up for the console, you know, and that's something that I did not have my eye on for a long while. You know, Hitman, you know, never played the series before. Like, I played through like the first couple of levels. Amazing game.
I know Des is mad right now. I know Des is mad right now because he loves Hitman. Yeah, Nintendo. Yeah. Instead of buying a Switch 2, buy a Steam Deck for $400. That's it. Like, my brother wanted a portable console. He wanted the Switch 2. And I told him, that's $450. And you have to pay for your games again. But you can just get a Steam Deck and just play all your Steam library on it. And now he's saving up for a Steam Deck. Because he plays on PC more than he plays on a... No, yeah, Nintendo. Like, unlike these fanboys that are like, oh my god, yes, this is what we're gonna do. This is so good. You're being honest. And saying, like, yeah, I bought the Switch 2. Go buy a Steam Deck instead. But, like, Harmon, Hitman is a good game. It is a good game that I can play on my PC, on my Xbox, on my Steam Deck. Things that I already own. Things that are not $450 base. Things that perform better than that platform. I already own them. I already have them. So why the fuck? Yeah, Spec. Yeah, you have to react to this for an hour. You have to react to this for an hour. But seriously, Harmon, why the fuck would I buy a Switch 2 for games that I already own? No, Nintendo, it's fine. It's fine if you mention your channel or anything like that. Like, I don't care. Like, if you mention your channel, that's fine. Thank you, Des, for that information. Apparently, he hated Hitman. He hated Hitman probably because he either A, played it on the Switch 1 through the cloud using the Switch 1's shitty modem, or he never played it. It's probably the second option, let's be honest.
I'm like completely in love with it. Like, my thing with the Switch 2 life cycle, right? You know, having played Mario Kart World, which in and of itself it's worth owning the console for, you know, people need 100% to stop complaining about ports. You know, like, talking about like third-party games and like trying to downplay them by saying that they've been available on other consoles already, or
yes, the problem isn't the ports. The problem is that you can play them much better on other platforms. Some that are even portable, like the Switch 2. The whole reason why the Switch 1 succeeded was because at the time, it was one of the few consoles that you could actually take on the go. It was one of the few powerful handhelds at the time because it was around the power of a fucking PS3 and Xbox 360. Which means Skyrim on the go. That's why Skyrim was in all the marketing when the Switch 2 first launched. It's why you saw 2K being advertised during the Switch 1's launch. Oh, Nintendo. I forgot to mention this, chat. I forgot to mention this. But today is June 10th. And today is actually an important day for me. Because today marks 1 year being sober. I'm sorry to go on a tangent, chat, but I had a goal for me to stay sober for an entire year, and I have finished that goal. So now, Nintendo, I can actually do that challenge. I can actually drink again. I didn't mention it before, but I'm going to mention it now, just because you brought up alcohol. But yeah, it's been 1 year, and this community actually helped. We'll see, Censored, probably not. Probably not. The thing that's actually probably going to end it is if we play Garfield Kart again. Because I've said I have to be drunk to play that game. It is a terrible, god-awful game. It's a terrible, god-awful game, but probably not. Yeah, that's how it is for me too, Censored. Like, soda, everything. Like, the Salt community. Oh god, Death Shadow. But, like, the Salt community actually helped me a lot through that sobriety, especially the first 2 months. Because it gave me a distraction to not think about drinking. And not thinking about wanting to drink. Instead, I was more reacting to these fucking pieces of shit. But yeah, it's been a year. I completed my goal. And now, if I wanted to, I could drink. I'm not going to. Yeah, and we're almost at 100 subs. Alcohol is an acquired taste. Censored, it's an acquired taste. Some people just don't like it. I'm one of the people that does. Because I genuinely like the taste of alcohol. But yeah, let's get back to this fucking dipshit. I know people don't want to get back to this fucking dipshit. But we have to. Because after this, we're gonna go on, yeah, Spec. Finish that, finish your work. So that you can move on to, finishing your fucking video. As I say that, I need to finish mine. I'm gonna finish my 2 for this week. Well, that's because he just uses a shitty fucking webcam. And it's like it's not even 720p, I think it's like 480p. So you're recording off of 480p. It's honestly why I want Harmon to get the fucking Switch 2 camera. So that he has at least a decent fucking camera to use. To make this a bit more bearable.
Or aren't that good in the case of the ones that are launching day 1. You know, games like Rune Factory and the like. You know, the reality is, Switch 2 has had games right from the onset, right from the get-go, and the fans have been playing all of them, you know, in a wide range of different genres. And
Harmon, the problem isn't the games. The problem is that you can find them and play them on the much better hardware. I can go and play on my Steam Deck the same exact game and play at a much better resolution and a much better frame rate. God damn it. God damn it, the fucking pause game. It's not as good as Gara's, but it's decent. But seriously, I can go play Cyberpunk on my Steam Deck and play with a much better screen with HDR at fucking 60 FPS. You have to realize this, and you don't, because it's Nintendo, so Nintendo is good, and Nintendo's good. Now, I want to see why you say the Wii U had a good launch, because the Wii U had a shit fucking launch. It had a shit launch. Absolutely terrible. And I like the Wii U. That thing's god awful. I just like it because I think it's neat.
like the gaming community is doing everything it possibly can to downplay it and act as if these games are like somehow underwhelming or disappointing or like not that good. It's just laughably dumb. You know, Mario Kart by itself is like carrying the console launch.
That's a problem. When one game is the whole reason why you buy a console, that is a problem. And two, Mario Kart World in some areas is worse than Mario Kart 8 that was originally a fucking Wii U game. The brain on this fellow. The fucking brain on this fucking dipshit. You would think he would actually be fucking smart with how he fucking carries himself.
You know, we're talking about something that probably has like close to like 100% like attach rate, right? We seriously had that conversation on stream that like this game might be one of those things that like every Switch 2 owner owns, right?
It's fucking Mario Kart. It's overpriced, which means that not every single person that's going to buy a Switch 2 is going to buy that game because it's $80 fucking dollars. You know what's gonna probably have like a around 100% attachment rate? An attachment rate, because guess what? People are going to fucking buy them because who would have guessed it? Who would have guessed it? God damn it, am I cutting in and out? Chat, are we good? Are we good? Chat, are we good? Alright. Alright. But I want to see why you say the Wii U. Because surprisingly, you've been on topic. Sort of. Yeah, Harmon's the reason why the fucking stream is fucking up.
But you know, the people who, the average person who owns like Mario Kart World is not going to have every single game that's available on the console. You know, so you're going to be seeing people pick up Hitman. You're going to see Hitman. You're going to see people pick up like Fantasy Life. You're going to see.
Yes. The problem is that you pick up Mario Kart World, and that's basically the only game that you get. Because, oh, I'll get that. And then I'm out of money. Yay! I'm out of money. I ran out of money because I bought the console, and then I bought this game. Or they went with the bundle. They got the console. They got Mario Kart World with the bundle. And then they're like, oh, I want a Pro Controller. Yay, I'm out of money.
See people pick up like Rune Factory. You're going to see people pick up like, you know, Street Fighter 6. You know, this has clearly been a very successful console launch with a wide range of games, and yet you have people like dismissing it for like very arbitrary, petty reasons, you know, like this idea that like, oh, that's available on Switch, the original Switch as well, so that doesn't count, even though this.
What the fuck did you send me? God damn it, chat. Do I have to make a fucking memes channel? God damn it, chat. God damn it, chat. God damn it. Of course. Of course. Oh, fucking course. Of course, chat. Share with the class. Alright. Hope this can be seen. Chat, I think we're gonna make a memes channel. I think we're gonna make a memes channel. And I know you fucks are gonna be very happy about that. Because I've seen what you've done in Gar's memes. I've seen what you've done in that one.
Switch 2 like noticeably upgrades like every Switch 1 game. You know, you have people complaining about
Harmon, legitimately, most people only wanted for the upgrades 60 FPS in most games. That's all people wanted. 60 FPS. Like most people would say, update the game. 60 FPS at least 1080p. No dips, no nothing. That should be easy, right? No! There are still games that run at 30 FPS. There are still games that struggle on the fucking Switch 2. That are Switch 1 games. I should be able to play all the Xenoblade games at 60 FPS, at 4K, on the Switch 2. I should be able to play my entire library at 4K, at 60 FPS, on Switch 2. But that isn't the case. And instead, we are stuck here in what I like to call bullshit hell. Also known as fucking Nintendo being dumbasses.
About like games coming from other consoles, and you have people like straight up ignoring brand new games, like Fast Fusion and Rune Factory. Like it's been like it's always like this when it comes to Nintendo release schedules. All of these people like refuse to acknowledge like everything but the absolute like cream of the crop biggest Nintendo games. But like,
because that's why people buy a Switch 2. That's why people buy Nintendo consoles. Did people buy a Wii to play COD? No. You know why people bought a Wii? Wii Sports. You know why people bought a Wii? Mario Kart Wii. Because unlike fucking Sony, and unlike Microsoft, Nintendo's IPs don't go to other platforms unless you use emulation. So, yes, censored. But what I'm saying is that most people who bought a Wii did not buy it to play third-party games. They bought it to play the Nintendo first-party games. It's the same reason with the Switch. They bought... They bought the Switch to play the Nintendo games, and then they maybe bought, like, one game that they really wanted to play on the go. And that's all it was. And that's how it is.
like it's bad this time, right? It's embarrassing because this console has clearly been like extremely successful right out of the gate, and yet you have like the general community just doing everything it possibly can to just downplay it and just like act like this is some like major disaster, like this is somehow like some huge like failure of a console. Like, I just saw Grums like a couple of minutes ago, like, oh, I'm not picking up a Switch 2 because nothing on it interests me.
Chat. He's mad that his daddy does not like his favorite company, Nintendo. Oh, Daddy Grumps, don't insult Nintendo. Oh no, Daddy Grumps, don't insult Nintendo. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. He's mad because it's Grums insulting Nintendo. Because Harmon's like, yes, Grums, yes, your game looks great. I did not do what you think I did, chat. I did not. Wait, what? Nintendo, send that to me. Send that to me. Or hold on. In Discord, please. Because I looked it up myself, and I'm seeing a bunch of, articles that sold 3.5 million units. But I'm not seeing any sources. Okay. Okay, chat, hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry for the fucking light mode. But apparently it sold 3.5 million units worldwide in the first 4 days. Now the Nintendo Prime stuff. He said that this did not include the weekend. Which means that he's still probably wrong. Because yes, it sold 3.5 million units. But what he's saying is that it sold 3 million units in the first 2 days. Yes, Des. Night Rain hasn't sold it. No, it's fine. It's fine. This is new. This just came up. So, if it sold 3 million units, going up in Nintendo Prime's numbers, if it sold 3 million units in 24 hours, and it only sold 500,000 over that. That could either mean, which, this is probably it. Nintendo Prime was wrong, and this is 3 million units over 4 days. And if it was the fastest selling, this is Nintendo's own article, Power. This is from Nintendo themselves. This is from Nintendo themselves. I still think that Nintendo Prime's, and I still know this, his numbers are bullshit. Power, it's because over there it is when this was released. This is Nintendo Japan. This is Nintendo Japan who sent this out. And in Japan right now, it is June 11th. So this came out like, I think 30, 45 minutes ago. So it would be morning there. But it would be morning there, but it's also yeah, but this is the thing is that Nintendo said that it sold 3.5 million worldwide in 4 days. It has been 5 days since the Switch 2 came out. So why aren't they saying, let's say Nintendo Switch 2 sold 4 million units over 5 days. If it sold only 3.5 million units worldwide in 4 days following its release, that means that sales are slowing down and are falling off. So that means Nintendo does not want us to know something. Whenever a company refuses to give you certain information, it means that they don't want you to know something. And in this case, they don't want you to know that it's now falling down and petering off. If it wasn't, they would have shared the 5-day number. You have to read these things, chat. And you have to understand that when companies do not mention, when companies say it's only been 4 days, when you know it's been 5, they're hiding something. Nintendo is hiding the fact that sales are now falling off a cliff. Because this happened with the Switch, with the 3DS. This exact scenario happened. And remember what happened with that device? I do. The price got slashed. So that means that, most likely, yes, Des. Yes. It was made tomorrow. So that means that they are obfuscating and hiding 1 day of sales. In that 1 day of sales, that's the one that tells all. Because over the first 4 days, you have everyone raving and going out and buying it. But now, you have people reviewing it. You have people saying the Switch 2 isn't as good as people think. You have all of this. So what does that tell you? It tells you this number is most likely true. But that number isn't as impressive when you add another number to this. History moves in a circle. Everything is bound to repeat. Nintendo has repeated what happened with the 3DS. And Furukawa is going to have to learn how to handle that situation. Because Iwata, he knew how to handle that situation. He knew what to do. He knew what to do to get people to buy. Furukawa inherited an extremely successful product from Iwata. Now he has to learn, how do I make sure this product keeps selling? I'm done with fucking Harmon. We're moving on to somewhere else. I know that we're not done with this fucking video, but I feel like that this is way more interesting. But first, We're doing the fucking pseudo-intellectual known as Nib. The reason why we're doing Nib is simple. This is Nib's tweet. Ignoring the classic Sony 2 lol, countless hashtag PlayStation fans, myself included, absolutely did not want the PS Portal to be a native playing handheld. Yes, I know that, censored. That's a good thing. We like that it was suspended because Icon Error is a piece of shit. I do not want an even lower common denominator skew impacting or holding back game development. Hashtag PS5, hashtag Portal. In response to Frit, quote tweeting this. This is Fritz. Lol, this is nothing compared to how the excitement for the PS Portal turned into sorrow when PlayStation guys saw it was just a streaming tablet. This is not true. This right here. This is not true. I know people that would have bought the PlayStation Portal if, and only if, this right here was an actual handheld. If I could play PS1, PS2, if I could play some PS5 games on here, I think people would have been happy. Frick then responds and says, lol, and yet the Steam Deck proves that it's not a concern at all. True. Steam Deck and then Nib responds, being an idiot, and saying, the Steam Deck, if anything, proves the opposite. Since with the Steam Deck, it's almost anything that goes. Sometimes performance, settings, etc. is okay, other times greatly compromised, and sometimes games aren't supported at all. Consoles are beholden to much stricter certification and fixed performance criteria than the Steam Deck or PC games. So such loose leeway on optimization, focus, and support couldn't be the case with consoles or a PlayStation native handheld. This guy's an idiot. The thing is that, Nib, people want a handheld device that plays games natively. I can give you one example. My dad, he travels a fuck ton. And he was interested in the Steam Deck because I bought one and he played it and he liked it. He does not like Linux or Windows. So, he wanted a handheld that was not Linux or Windows based and that wasn't a Switch. He saw the Portal, saw it was $200, and was almost going to buy it until I told him that one, you had to have at the time, you had to have a PS5 to use it, and two, you could not use it on the plane. He immediately lost interest. When you have lower-end hardware, it forces developers to actually learn how to optimize. And to actually learn how to make games well. What you want, Nib, is even so, even with this shit that you said, with this bullshit that you said right here, do you realize that that could go saying the same for the base PS5 and the PS5 Pro. Because the PS5 is a lower SKU than the PS5 Pro. Which means that the PS5 is holding back the PS5 Pro because there are no games that are made specifically for the PS5 Pro. They all have to run on the PS5. You see the problem with that logic? If you go with this idea, this belief, that everything has to be, that there cannot be a lower end SKU because that SKU is going to make things less impressive, you end up not being able to have innovation. You end up not being able to say, yes, let us do this. Let us actually make something that people want. This thinking right here, the thinking that you have, is the reason why there is no handheld PS5. That there is no handheld equivalent to what Xbox is doing with the ROG Ally. And we use the Steam Deck as an example. The Steam Deck runs on a lower end CPU, on a lower end GPU. The Steam Deck is Zen 2 with RDNA 2 graphics. You know what else is Zen 2 and RDNA 2? The current fucking consoles. Your argument makes no sense because you don't know hardware. You think you do because you spend all day looking at ChatGPT, thinking that, oh my god, I'm such an intellectual. Another response. Developers have no obligations to make games run on the Steam Deck or have them certified. That is not the case for Xbox or PS. You think PS first party can release a title on PS5 and say that it won't release on the PS handheld because they're going to get it to run. And then Nib. No, Power, I was, It's RDNA 2. The Z2A is RDNA 2. I did not know that. Okay. And then Nib get an actual fucking response and saying, like, do you really think that PlayStation would tell their developers and their studios, yeah, don't release it on the handheld because you get it to run? Your literal response is just, PC cats seldom understand these basic concepts. I made a similar point to him here. This is his point. Right here, most PS5 games are not PS5 only. The ones that do run on Steam Deck do so at optimized settings and performance. Yes, that is the case. Remember, console games and platforms have more stringent certification criteria than PC games or Steam Deck. The latter, almost anything goes. Which, again, technically is not true because you can choose to have it run on the Steam Deck. Any game on the PS handheld would be beholden to specific closed platform performance targets and certification, which would inevitably require extra optimization time, focus, resources, testing, etc. No. You know what you would do? You know what you would do, Nib? You would develop for the PS handheld. That would be your baseline. You develop for this. and make sure that your game works on the PS handheld. And then you would scale it up to the PS5 and the Pro, like what devs do now with the PS5 and the Pro, because they make games specifically for the base PS5 and then scale them up so that they work on the Pro. You, sir, don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I wonder why you couldn't actually respond to someone having a actual rebuttal to your stupid ass comment with this bullshit right here. You are a pseudo-intellectual that does not know anything. Or common denominator skew, or impacting or holding back while you're mostly playing on console, then wouldn't the idea of console be what you describe? Yeah, Power, he's not intellectual. What he does is that he just types on ChatGPT. I also like that he doesn't actually have a rebuttal to this. And it's just like, yeah, you're dumb. Let me see what the fuck is in my mentions. Okay. Yeah, alright. Chat, we have one more. We have one more.
No, it's not.
It's Riri. The ROG Ally X isn't an Xbox, dude. The ROG Xbox Ally X isn't an Xbox.
Not an Xbox console. Homie, you can't even play all your Xbox console games on it. What are you talking about?
Yes, it's a PC. It is a PC that runs, but you can run Xbox Play Anywhere games on the on this device. And even still, it is an Xbox device. The ROG Xbox Ally X, that is a fucking stupid name. The Xbox Ally was designed in collaboration. You're fucking kidding me. You're fucking kidding me, Censored. Really? Really? I'm convinced that's just me. Did I just stutter? I'm going to continue. The Xbox Ally X was designed in collaboration with the Xbox team, meaning that the Xbox team worked hand in hand on this device, which means this device, the Xbox Ally, was designed specifically to be used as a portable Xbox, because we know that there's Project Keenan, which that is the bespoke handheld that Xbox is working on, and that was the one that was pushed back to focus on the development of Windows for handhelds, which we are seeing with this device. Yes, it cannot play certain Xbox games because those games are not available on PC. But you can still play those games through cloud streaming or through remote play. this is a PC that is... What power? What? What did I do? Okay, you mentioned it about the remote play for games to not natively play. Yes, it can function as a remote play device, similar to how you can use your PC as a remote play device. If I wanted to, I could use this PC right here, the one that I'm streaming from, to stream remotely my Xbox downstairs to here. The difference is that those games you can still play natively. You just need to have them on another storefront. So like I can still play Yes, technically. But those games are also available on PC. They're available on Steam. You cannot play the Xbox versions. But you can still play those games. Now, do I think that you should be able to play Xbox games? Especially older Xbox and 360 titles? Yes. Does that mean that you cannot play those games at all? No. Unless they're not on PC. Then you just can't play them. What Reforge is trying to say is that it's not an Xbox at all. It's just a ROG Ally that Xbox happened to be branded. When that's not the case. Because this device was designed hand in hand with the Xbox team. It functions, and the software was designed to function similar to how Xbox would function, if you can understand me that way.
Calling it an Xbox console is quite literally a lie. It is not an Xbox console.
It's a PC. It is a PC that was designed hand in hand with the Xbox team, and the software was designed by the Xbox team. It is more Xbox than ROG Ally. This thing has more DNA from Xbox in its software and its physical design than it does from AMD.
You can't even play all your Xbox console games on it, brother. There's like 1,000 games you can play on it, or whatever the list is.
1,000 Play Anywhere games. Millions of PC games. Any game I can play on that console downstairs, I can play on this Ally simply because it's on PC. This is a PC with the freedom of PC. Holy fucking shit.
Yes, you can. Homie, no, you can't. You've either been completely misinformed or you're just in here baiting to try to get a clip. Most of it, wow, that changed really fast. Look, that was a record time of, yes, you can play all of them, most of it. Wow.
Reforge, I would like to ask you this. What game can you natively play on the Portal? I'm just asking this for a friend. Oh, none? Okay, what native game can I play on the Ally? All of them? Okay, thank you. Yes, you cannot play certain Xbox console exclusives. Certain Xbox console games. Those games are either available on PC or you can play them on PC.
Wow, that was really quick. So it's not an Xbox console, bro. Good golly. Like, calling that an Xbox console is just absolutely... That has got to be one of the worst takes on this device, man. Even the...
Power, it got a update so that I could use cloud streaming, but you have to be subscribed to PlayStation Plus Premium to use it. So basically, you either have a PS5 and use it that way. Yes, Chaos. That's what people aren't fucking understanding. This is a PC. If I wanted to play 360 games, Xenia. 360 emulators. I don't have to wait for Microsoft. I have to wait for Microsoft to fucking give me a 360 emulator. I just go online and get one myself. Exactly, Power. The Xbox Ally is a PC that is an individual device. You do not need a subscription service. You don't need anything. You don't even need to own a single Xbox game. All your games are on Steam. That's fine. You can still play them. All your games are on GOG. You can play them. You don't own a single game on PC. That's fine. Here's all the emulators you want. Here's all the pirated games you want. That's what ponies don't fucking understand. They see this as, they don't know what to fucking think. Because they're only conditioned to consoles. They think, this is a console. It's not.
Hardcore Xbox guys are saying what it is. They're like, it's just an Asus ROG Ally that was already in the market. A $2 super chat from Alex.
Himbo. Was that you? But seriously, Reforge, this was made hand in hand with the Xbox team. The Xbox team designed the fucking outside of the console. They designed that. They designed the software. It is still an Xbox.
I'm sticking with my Steam Deck. A $5 super chat tip from True SSJ Havoc. For context, when I saw it from King Thrash, they were excited until the ROG showed up, and the silence was deafening. I bet it's $900, and again, Halo 5.
King fucking Thrash. Yeah, Power. It is and isn't a console. It's a PC handheld. Yeah, we're using fucking King Thrash. I wonder how many N-bombs were thrown in that one. Thank God we're not watching one of his clips, or this stream would be fucking gone.
$5 super chat from P-Dub H-Town says this will be DOA like those who claim the Portal will be.
This is not going to be DOA. This is not going to be DOA. The Portal, we all believed, would be DOA because you couldn't actually play anything without a fucking PS5. It wasn't because guess what? It's a fucking accessory. Doesn't look like one. And most people, I've seen it myself, mistook this as a actual fucking console. As a handheld PS5. When it was not. So I honestly want to ask, how many people bought the Portal thinking that it was a handheld PS5, and when they got home and tried to play it? Yeah, if it was overpriced as shit. In my honest opinion, this is what Xbox should do. The base Ally. The base ROG Ally. The one with the Z2E. Z2A. That should be $400. And then the Ally X should be $550 to $600. Look at what Steam is doing with their Steam Deck and price it there. Because the Steam Deck is your competitor and the Switch 2 is your competitor. And what you're getting with this is a much more powerful console that can do much more than the Switch 2 and is more powerful than the Steam Deck. If I were Microsoft, that's where I'd price this. And then I'd also do this. Include 1 month of Game Pass Ultimate. Include 1 month of Game Pass Ultimate. Along with the price. You include that 1 month. And more people are going to pay for it. Yeah, that's, like I said, that's what I think it should be priced at. Because your competitors are the Steam Deck and the Switch 2. And that's around where the Steam Deck and the Switch 2 are priced at.
Only Play Anywhere games, which is a minority of games. Not just Xbox games. Steam has way more games than Xbox. I need you to understand something, Zig, or Ziguel, or however I'm supposed to say your name. This product has already been in the market, brother.
And that market is very niche. Because nobody knows what the fucking ROG is. Nobody knows what a fucking Legion Go is. Nobody knows what an MSI Claw is. You know what people know? People know what fucking Xbox is. So they're gonna see this console that's an Xbox, and they're going to look at it. And if the price is right, they may buy it. Because guess what? They know what the fuck Xbox is. They see the Xbox logo and they're like, oh, I know what that is. It's an Xbox. This already existed on the market, yes. But nobody knows what the fuck it is. Xbox is actually being smart here and realizing that. And they're saying, oh, we're actually, you know what we're going to do? We're actually going to market this to people that would not know what it is, but they know us. They know Xbox. Which means that they're more likely going to buy it. And we made it so that Windows is actually fucking usable on a handheld. So if I use Windows, and people don't have to fiddle around with a touchscreen or some third-party app as an overlay, and it's just all baked in, then people are more likely going to fucking buy it. It's not an Xbox. And it still is. And this is the problem, and Alex pointed this out perfectly. Xbox has been terrible with their fucking messaging with this thing. Because it's like, oh, this is an Xbox. But it's not an Xbox. But it is. Because it was designed by Xbox, and the software was designed by Xbox. But it's also an ROG Ally. And it can play certain Xbox games, so it can't play all of them. But some people are saying that it can play all of the Xbox games. Some people are saying that it's all just a jumbled fucking mess. Xbox needs to get their messaging straight and say, this is a handheld PC. It can play all Xbox Play Anywhere games and all games on competing storefronts. It can also be used as a remote play device for your current Xbox console. That's what their messaging should be. But it isn't, because Xbox, for some reason, they're fucking run by idiots who will take one step and then step on a rake. And that one step is a glorious step. And then the rake comes and hits them in the head.
You could have bought an Asus ROG Ally prior to that conference. You can buy it right now.
But nobody knows what the fuck it is besides people that actively are in the community, that actively look at this shit. Nobody knows what any of these PC handhelds are. That's the thing. Nobody knows what a ROG Ally is. People know what an Xbox is. They're going to buy this and see that it's an Xbox. Holy fucking shit. Your argument is just, oh, it's been on the market. It's been on the market. It's been on the market. Yeah, it's been on the market, but nobody knows what the fuck it is besides people that actually give a shit. People that are actually, like, looking at this and being like, oh, yeah, this is... And people who look at spec sheets. We are not the common fucking consumer that does not know anything about these things. We are not. You know what we are? We are the hardcore that look at spec sheets, that attend these fucking conferences, that watch these things, that stream, that make content. What you make is barely content, but still... We are the ones that actively make shit. And the way that you're talking to this fucking chatter, you didn't even give yourself time to learn how to say his name. You didn't even try and say his name. You're just like, yes, Power, that too. That's why I keep saying the OS is Windows, designed by the Xbox team to work well on handhelds. The way that you treat your chat is fucking atrocious, Reforge. It's actively fucking atrocious. Because I bet most of your fucking chat is just confused. They don't know. They don't fucking know. Most of them are like, well, is this an Xbox? They don't know that the Ally's been out for years, for a year at this point. They don't know what the fuck a Steam Deck is. They think this is an Xbox. And it's your job. It's your fucking job as someone who people look at as an authority on things, I don't know why, to inform them. To inform them and not be a fucking piece of shit about it. You know what you could have said? Instead of being like, well, it's been on the market, dude. It's been on the market. You could have said, well, in reality, the Xbox Ally X is a more improved version of the ROG Ally X that released late last year. What this is essentially a PC that you can pick up in your hands, that you can hold in your hands and play that way. It's not going to be able to play all your current Xbox games that you own on your console, except ones that are available through Play Anywhere, because this is not an Xbox console, this is an Xbox PC that has a console-like OS similar to the Steam Deck. You see how easy that was? You see how easy that was? But no, you're all high and mighty. You're Reforged Gaming. You're Reforged Gaming. I'm Reforged Gaming. I'm the most important piece of shit out there. Fuck off. Fuck off.
It's not some new device, not some new mythical device from on high that's going to empower you to do something new. It's that you could already have purchased this thing.
You're acting like that they know. You're acting like that they know. They don't know. Jesus. This is why I fucking hate Reforged. This right here. This right here. This high and mighty attitude. This, oh, I'm better than everyone else. Everyone else is beneath me. And this, well, I know it, so you must know it too. This guy probably came in, saw your thumbnail, was like, oh, I'll come in, decided to chat for a second, not understanding what the fuck it is, and being like, oh, well, this is what I think it is. And then you go on a tirade because this uninformed consumer, who's obviously confused because Xbox hasn't made this easy to understand, you're acting like this is the most simplest thing ever. To some people, it's not. Oh my fucking god, I hate Reforge.
We have to wait and see when it's out to talk about it. It's still an Xbox. Okay. All right. Sure. Yeah. It's an Xbox, boys.
The software was made by Xbox. The design was worked on by Xbox. It can play certain Xbox games. The only reason that it's not an Xbox is because it can't play all the games on your precious console. Yet it can play those games through other means. It is essentially an Xbox. It's just a different type of Xbox. Chat, I don't know if I can get through this entire thing because I'm already fucking pissed.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, man.
Just say fucking... Just say God. We all know what the fuck you mean. We all know what you mean when you say frick. We all know what you mean when you say gosh. We all know what you say dang it. We all know. We all know what you mean. What do you mean is fuck? What do you mean is God? What do you mean is damn it? What do you mean is hell? What do you mean is shit? Just because you don't say the word doesn't mean that you actually don't mean it. That's what I hate. It's something that I fucking hate. Because, oh, I can't deal with this crap, and I can't deal with this, so I'm just gonna be a dumbass. Jesus Christ, I'm so fucking done at this point with these idiots.
I know the OS is new and stripped down. That doesn't change its capabilities to suddenly do something that the new one can't. I'm sorry, that the old one can't.
It can still play those games. It just can't play them through the Xbox app. You can play them through Steam. Oh my god. Oh my god.
There's nothing about it. There's nothing about it that quote unquote makes it an Xbox.
It was made by the Xbox team, hand in hand with the ROG team. Thank you, Random Boy, for the $1. Same. If I ever act like Reforge, slam me into the fucking ground as hard as you can. Do it. Fucking do it.
A button on it that has the Xbox logo doesn't make it an Xbox, dude.
You know what makes it a fucking Xbox? The fact that it was worked on by the Xbox team. That's what makes it a fucking Xbox. And thank you, Power. If that was the case, then PSSR was not made by PlayStation. Because that was made hand in hand with AMD. So, is that suddenly now not PlayStation? Is that suddenly now not part of PlayStation? Where's the fucking line? Where's the... Chat. We've been going for almost 4 hours now. I'm getting so pissed at this fucking retard. I don't think we can keep going. Just for my sanity. So, chat, we're going to end it here. Because all I'm going to do when talking about Reforge is that I'm going to keep going in circles and keep saying the same shit over and over and over again. I'm making the same point. And I don't think that that's entertaining. So, chat, thank you all so much for coming out to the stream. Thank you so much for donating. Y'all don't have to do that. If you like the stream, hit the like button. You don't have to do it. And if you like the content, hit the subscribe button. I stream every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. And I have one video up every week, sometimes two. Now be safe out there. Don't be stupid. And have a fantastic night.